Okay, this is a guide on how to make the Odin-5 F3 have a camera module attached. I'm going to use the AI Thinker model because it has a flash, and things that you'll need is an AI Thinker with the programmer board. There's two types. There's this one, the USB programmer, and there's an FTDI adapter, which looks like that. It's a little more complicated to use, but there's guides available online. I'll link them as to how to use those. You'll need some VHB tape. This is super strong stuff for plastic, really good. And you'll need an M3 nut and bolt at roughly 20 millimeters. These ones are a bit long, but if you're handy with a pair of pliers or whatever, just cut it down to the size that you need. And you'll also need a 24 volt DC to DC power supply, which is there. It's DC 24 volt to 5 volt. This is a 5 amp. You only need a 1 amp, but as you can see, it's £5.90. Okay, so to get going, we would generally download the driver, which is available on this website here. It is Sparks Goo. Yeah, never mind. Anyway, I will place a link to it. It's that driver there. We download it and extract the file into a folder and click install. So I've extracted it already, and install the driver. This might pass, it might not, and it didn't. But you know, it's not the first time. Maybe I need to plug the module in first. We'll give that a go. Okay, and try it again. And we've got success. Right, so next step is you download Arduino IDE and install the ESP32 boards, which I'll place a link to this site. It's halfway down the page. You'll get it to installing ESP32 and Arduino IDE. File preferences, and there's our list of additional boards there. So we would copy that, right click, copy, and go to Arduino IDE, click File and Preferences, and then if it doesn't show up, as you can see, this scrolls. We've got additional board managers down there. I already have them, but I'll still paste the link in just to show you, and then click OK. Now yours will show up in the bottom corner here that it's updating the boards. If you have to wait until it's finished, unfortunately, and that would be that. Okay, then our next step is to choose our board, which is from this drop down up here. As you can see, it's discovered that it's on COM port 3, but it doesn't know what board it is yet. So we'd select our board, select the board, and start typing AI, and AI Thinker pops up on the top. We'd click that, hit OK. If you have a different board, obviously just start typing your board there, and you'll find it. It's in a long list of ESP32s. Okay, so our next step is to go to examples, and typically it's missing. Maybe there's something new here. I'll do another file, new, close that one off, file, jumping too far ahead, file, examples, and there's our huge list. ESP32, we have a camera, and the camera web server. Now it's going to open up another fresh instance of Arduino IDE, and there we go. This is the camera module code that we need to modify to our liking. You've got to define the camera. I'm going to be using the AI Thinker as described, so Marlin code is exactly the same as this. If you want to create your own firmware in Marlin using VS Studio, we would put a / in there to remove the camera model, and we remove the slashes for our model that we have, which is the AI Thinker. Further down we have our Wi-Fi credentials. SSID is your Wi-Fi name, and obviously underneath password is your password. You copy and paste them over the stars in between the speech bubbles, which I'll do that now. I have it copy and pasted because I have it ready to copy and paste because it's going to make my life a bit easier than typing it, and this video that little bit shorter. I will lower the camera out the way while I copy and paste my credentials in there. Copy. Paste. Copy. And paste. Okay. Right then, now our next step is to go to the app, and we'd scroll down until we see Illuminator. The max intensity, I won't go in details, but with it being a resolution of 8 on the pulse, it basically has it set to 255, which is far too bright for our LED. It gets really hot, so I've set this to 100, a little less than half of the maximum power. Now the int duty is the initiation duty, so when we start streaming, it'll automatically turn the light on at 0 was the original code, and we want that to be roughly 75. And when you stop streaming, it turns the flash off. It's quite a handy feature. And then what we want to do is scroll all the way to the bottom of the code on this page till we hit the how many times a second it's going to pulse, and that's a resolution of 8, which isn't very relevant for anything we do other than telling the power, how much power to use. 5000 makes the flash flicker pulse 5000 times a second, which is far too high, and the flash actually makes a loud whine, audible whine anyway. And I always set this to 100. You can go lower, but when your X carriage moves in front of the camera, it starts being in sync. The flash starts being in sync with the camera, I believe, and you get like a flickery line down it till it moves a little bit further away. And that's us done. Now we would click the serial monitor up in the top corner, and maybe I need to click it down here to show the baud rate, maybe not. I don't see the baud rate, but maybe I need to highlight some stuff up here first. Okay, we've got our, in tools, we've got our AI Thinker cam. We've got our COM9 isn't our COM, so we'd pick the COM that we've got it in. Maybe up, and now baud rate has appeared in the bottom. And I always have erased the flash before uploading. I don't even think it works, but that's what I always have on. With the AI Thinker, sometimes you'll run into issues where it won't upload. Choose the DIO in flash mode, and hopefully that'll resolve it. If not, try the others. But I found more success with DIO than any other, and I don't bother changing it from that. And we want our huge app, 3 megabytes, no over the air, with 1 megabyte spiffs. And that is us ready to hit upload, and we will try that. Now, if you're repurposing your AI Thinker, sometimes you would have to press the 2 buttons on the side of your Thinker board when it shows connecting. I'm not going to do it here because sometimes you don't have to, but if we get a failure, I'll show you that one. Now we're getting close to it saying connecting. I'd like you to be able to see the AI Thinker. Okay, connecting. That is when we might have to press our 2 buttons, but we'll see. Nope. Away we go, uploading the code. When it's done, it should should automatically jump to the serial monitor and tell us what our IP address is, hopefully. And there it is, it has jumped to our serial monitor and given us our IP address at 99.59. So I would open up our web browser, 192.168.99.59. Hit enter. There's our web page. Now you can just experiment with the different settings here, but you would, if you want it to be ingrained in the memory, you would have to change your code at some point. And what we would do here is when we click start stream, the LED should light up, and it does. And there is our video image. That brief view there where it went black and white, like I say, it's mostly when my hand goes, when something's really, really close in front of it. If we hit stop stream, stops the LED. You can test the different brightness here if you would like. Find a setting that you prefer. Let's say we've set ours at 75. You might like it brighter, you might like it dimmer. And when I show you the second part on the Wi-Fi module inside the printer, you would you don't even have to hit stream, you don't have to hit that menu at all. When you come to hook up your camera to your boost converter, you'll see there we have 5 volt and ground right next to each other on the top corner pins. obviously 5 volt is 5 volt in, ground is the ground in. You would, I'll show you it on my printed model. I have this little spacer here, and the newer one is angled slightly on this space, and that's because with this flatter model, although your gantry looks level, it actually isn't. It needs to be kicked out at a certain degree and it'll look level. Now you would push your nut and bolt through there, obviously through the hole on there, and you can manually tilt it up and down to your liking. And I think I actually did this one upside down, but then I found the camera would sometimes, I couldn't see the whole image, and initially I thought the flash wouldn't light up the model, but it actually does in the other way around. So that's that done. And what I then did was feed the DuPont cable. This is too short, this is just for demonstration also, down the back of the roller there, and it will come out. Sometimes you need, it was a bit fiddly, I can't do it one-handed unfortunately. Never mind, but yeah, I can't even show you it, but it does fit down there. That's how I've got that one done there. I raised the gantry all the way up and put some of the tape all the way up the side there with the leveled, and stopped at the exact level that your ribbon cable stops at. And if I flip my old printer upside down, I plugged my boost converter into the DC out of the 24 volt. I made a nice little case there, and I placed some tape on there and stuck my case to the power supply, and then obviously feed the out around, go through the bottom there up to the camera. Now double check your wiring on your camera before you power your printer back on. Obviously don't do it with your printer already turned on, but just check your wiring that you have the plus and the minus the right way around, because while testing different codes running on the cam module, I have fried one by just plugging the power in and not realizing I had them back to front, and it fried the chip. So okay, I will do a video later on today hopefully on how you get that nice lovely web UI on your printer. One more thing, it's a good idea to go into your router settings and under DHCP find your ESP32 cam and set that to have that web address permanently saved. If you want the camera in your printer web, you'll need to know the IP address of this camera, and it definitely comes in handy. Okay, thanks for watching, and catch you on the Wi-Fi video. Thanks, bye.